welcome to the programme. Tommy Marin here on MidWest. We're with you until 11 o'clock. 2 minutes past 9. Hope you're well. Now, we're still getting lots of emails and texts about the mother and baby Tuam story, which, as you know, has dominated the airwaves all over the country. Good morning.
Good morning, Tommy. How are you?
I'm very well. You live in Northern Ireland, is that correct?
I do indeed. And can I say firstly, Tommy, we're deeply sorry for all the relatives of the children that was found in any of the homes in the south of Ireland. In the north here, we have much the same going on. We've had, we're called Birth Mothers for Justice and their children, NI. And I would like to call out to any woman that has moved to the south of Ireland after they came from the mother and baby homes to contact us, and we'll have a contact number at the end of this if anyone wishes to contact us.
What part of the north are you living in?
I'm living in MidWest, Tyrone.
Okay.
And I was taken to Newry to have my baby. I was 17 when I went into the mother and baby homes, and I was one of the last to have my baby in the 1980. I went in 79 into the home, and I had a baby boy, and he was born by cesarean section, which I never signed to have. They just done a C&C section on me, and they took my baby, and I never, ever, ever seen him. I never held him, and I didn't even know what it was till 2 days later, because I was afraid to ask the nuns what it was.
And you were sent there by your parents?
I was sent firstly when I knew I was pregnant, and at the time I was so naive, I didn't even know I was pregnant. But when I did find out, I confided in a person who I thought was going to help me. But instead, they went and told my family, and my family was a very religious, and believed in the priest, and rightly so at the time, and brainwashed as everybody else was. So I was sent to the priest, and I was made to confess for my sins. And shortly after that, there was arrangements made for me to go into the mother and baby home.
After you gave birth to what was your baby's son, did you ever see the baby?
No, my baby was taken. I never seen my baby ever. My baby was gone, and I never seen him. I didn't know where he went to. I wasn't told. And
to this day, you've never seen your son?
I met him 10 years ago, and he's a grown man with his own life. We tried to build bridges, but my baby was gone.
Did you try to find him, or did he try to find you?
Well, for years, there was nobody would tell me, anything when I went looking for my baby, and I didn't know there was papers even to be signed until I applied for my file, and I seen then that there was papers signed, and I wanted to know what these papers were, and they told me that that's where you signed your baby away, and I said, that's not my signature. It's my name, but it's not my signature. And I wanted advice on this, and I got advice when I was able to cope with it, but it wasn't my signature, but it was witnessed by someone else that it was my signature, but it wasn't.
And have you suspicions, without saying who you think it is, do you have your suspicions as to who it was?
Well, I do. I do, yeah.
So when you had the baby, Adel, in the mother and baby home, and this was 1979 now, which isn't an awful long time ago. People were saying all of this was going on in the 40s, 50s, 60s, but here we are at the late 70s. You had your baby at 17. You gave birth. How long more did you stay in the mother and baby home after the birth?
I went back to the home after I had my operation, and I was there for, I think, a few weeks. And I was made do work again, like every other girl, but there was no health care after that. No one looked at my wound and told me how to look after it. And I was told to be quiet, and I was never to breathe about what happened in the home to anybody, because they would know if I spoke about it. So I carried the secret with me for a lifetime.
Did any of your family come to see you whilst you were there?
I was visited once or twice, but it was up to a small room, and there was always a nun there in the room. She was more or less looking over everything that was going to be talked about. And I didn't really speak about much. I was very quiet. But she was in the room all the time, and more or less she was waving, the cross at me and putting that into my head that I'd be punished if I said anything.
How long more did you have to wait in the home?
And the whole time I was there, from basically about 8 months before I had my baby, and I came back then for, I think, 2 months roughly after I had my baby, and then I was told to go. But my baby was born on the 27th of May, and I didn't sign anything at all. But the papers that I seen after that, the papers were signed in the middle of June. So for roughly 3 or 4 weeks, my baby was abducted.
When you left the home, Adel, was it back to your own home you went?
Yes, I was told I could go home, yeah. And my family came and took me.
And did they ever talk about
no.
it? No.
No. As I said, the priest would have came regularly to the house after that, and nobody would say anything or talk to me where I was or anything, or even look at, the wound and see it was okay. So I said I had no medical examinations after that. I was just let get on with it.
Did it affect your relationship between your mother and father and you?
Well, my mother was the only parent I had. My father was dead, and I was very quiet. I was very confused, and I was confused for a long, long time, and probably angry inside. But more or less, I was very, very afraid.
Do you mind me asking, is your mother still alive?
No.
And before she died, was it ever talked about?
No.
Not once? No reference of any description?
No, none of my family talked about it until only the last few years. And they didn't understand. They didn't know what the home was about. They didn't understand how badly I was treated, or any of the rest of the girls, or what went on in the home. And they didn't know that our names were taken in the home, and they didn't know the punishments that we received in the home, the mental torture, the physical mental torture as well. And I carried that the rest of my life, and until now, until we're fit to speak about it.
And have you any recollection, Adel, of a happy memory in the 8 or 9 months that you were in that mother and baby home in Northern Ireland? Or was there none that you thought, well, she's got a heart? No,
there was nothing, because I just wanted out of there. I didn't know who could help me. I was like an animal, really trapped in a corner, and that's the way I felt. I was having a body experience. My soul was looking down on my body, and I was, I didn't know where to turn to, and I just wanted out of there. But nobody was there to help.
How did life unfold for you after all of that?
I loved 2 people. I loved, the girl that I went in there that was looking to get on with her life and do the things that a normal girl would have wanted to do, go and have a good job, and that's what I was looking forward to before I went into the home. And then when I got pregnant, all that changed, and I came out as a different person, and I am still that different person, and all I want to do is be reunited with that other person. And I want an apology, a public apology
from
the nuns and the government, because they were the ones that were responsible.
Yeah. Just in case you're joining us, listeners, this is Adel, and she's in Northern Ireland now. This is, and it proves that it wasn't just happening in the south of the country. It was also happening up north. You know, a lot of people, Adel, over the last couple of days, you know, blaming parents, like, say, your mother, for not having the heart or the courage to be able to say to the church or to whoever, look, Adele is my daughter, okay, she's pregnant, she's 17, she's going to have the baby and we're going to rear it. A lot of people were critical of parents who were so cold to send girls like you into these mother and baby homes. There's also a lot of people who are very angry that we never lay any of the blame on all of this on the fathers. In your case, did you ever confide in the father of your son?
I did. I did, and his family didn't want to know.
Did he want to know?
He was ruled by his family as well. His mother, he wasn't allowed, and his mother had sent him actually away, that he wouldn't have any contact with me, and he didn't know that I had a baby boy.
But he knew. He knew you were pregnant.
Yes, he knew I was pregnant, but he didn't know. He didn't want to know.
And did you ever talk to him after that?
No.
Do you even know where he is?
I would know where he is, but I don't want to
go there.
No, I don't want to know. At the time, there was no help for me there. The damage was done. My life was taken and destroyed, and I don't want to know.
Do you resent what your mother did?
No, because the Catholic Church had that much influence at the time, and they had the power to just rule everybody. And I don't know. I suppose at the time she thought, she was doing the right thing, but we know now that it was the wrong thing.
And would you say, Adele, that you're in as good a place now as you're ever going to be? Or, as you said earlier on, you went into that mother and baby home as one person and you came out as somebody else, and you're still that somebody else. Do you think you'll always be that somebody else, or do you think you can find the original you?
I will, when I get an apology for something I never did. It's like being imprisoned for something I never did, for signing a form that I never signed. So really, I'm still in that prison. And whenever I get an apology, and to say that I never signed that form, then I will be fit to get some kind of relief and carry on in my life.
Do you have a copy of that form?
I do.
Yeah. Do you look at it much?
All the time.
And what goes through your head?
I just say I never signed that, and I have spoke to people about it, and I just want that cleared up.
Do you think it ever will be?
Well, I hope someone will take notice of that and know that I'm telling the truth, and I'm prepared to go to all lengths to prove that.
So have you set up some kind of an organisation up in the north?
I have. I'm the chairperson of the group.
What's it called?
Birth Mothers and Their Children for Justice, NI. It's not only birth mothers that we listen to. We listen to the children that has been taken from the mothers that are coming back looking for their birth rights, and their, so we would like anybody that's out there in Ireland, if they were in the north and had their baby, to contact us. I actually have one of the children here with me at the moment, a girl that was born, and I'd like you to take time maybe for 2 minutes to speak to her, and she will give you the details of our group page and where we can be contacted.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that in 1 second. Just one or two final questions that I just want to put to you, Adel. One would be, you've spoken so openly and honestly about how you're feeling. If you got an apology, say, from the British government. Would that be any solace to you?
I don't think it was the British government that was responsible for this. It was happened in Northern Ireland. It happened in Ireland.
Yeah, but surely they were funding in some way these baby homes, were they not?
There was some kind of funding from the government, yes, but the nuns came from Cork up to the north to open these homes. These nuns were coming up and down the country all the time. They were changing from one home to the other. They may have been in Castlepollard one day, they might have been in Cork another day, and they were in Donegal another day. They came then to Newry and Belfast as well, and Derry.
Okay. I know you said your baby was born in a hospital because you had complications. Were the majority of the girls that were in the home with you at that time, did they give birth in the home itself?
Well, when you say complications there, Tommy, the complications were that they just took me and silenced me. They silenced me. There was no complications. When I got my records back, it didn't say that I had complications.
But your child was born by caesarean section?
Yes. They done a caesarean section on me.
In the hospital?
Me. Yes, they silenced me.
Yeah. But were most of the girls that were there, did they have their babies in the baby home? Or were most of them brought to the hospital? At
my time, they were brought to the hospital.
Right.
But before that, some of the babies could have been born in the home, yeah.
And did many of the girls, or any of the girls ever, if break away is the right word to use, or did they escape?
Oh, yes, I've heard stories, yes, that some of the girls, the people that live around Newry, have told me that through time they did hear that those girls had run over the fields and that the police and the nuns would run after them to bring them back.
Unreal. All right, Adele, look, you say you have another girl there.
Yeah, I have indeed.
Can I just have her first name, maybe?
Yeah. Her name is Michelle.
Michelle, okay. Thanks for talking to us, Adele, and thanks for getting in touch.
Good morning.
Good morning, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. So your organisation, this Birth Mothers and Their Children for Justice, what you're trying to do is locate any Northern Ireland girls, is it, that maybe went down south after giving birth? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, that's correct. We're all here to support each other, The women are heartbroken and the children are heartbroken for what's happened to them. These children should not have been separated from their parents. Nothing. This is for instance, I was took away from my mother. I was born with a defect in my mouth, with a cyst. Now, I could have been one of those children that would have been adopted. Only for the fact that I had a defect, I wasn't good enough. They didn't want that child that had problems.
So you're a child of one of these unmarried mothers that went to a baby home and gave birth, and because, as you said yourself, you had a defect, are you saying that they weren't able to offload you?
Yes, if that's the word that you
and
want.
It's I'm sorry, it's a horrible word to use.
Yes,
it really is. But that seems to be the way that you were dealt with. It wasn't like you were an innocent baby that needed care and attention and love. You were a commodity that, because of what was wrong with you, they weren't able to give you to somebody else, whether it was for money or for whatever reason.
Yes. And I was, I'm one of the lucky children that survived in those homes.
And were you given back to your mother then, Michelle?
My after a long fight, my mother did get me back. And I have heard from people before saying, "Oh, isn't that lovely? At least your mum got you back." And I have said to them, I'm sick and tired of hearing that. My mother shouldn't have had to get me back in the first place. It's just so unfair. These mothers put into these homes and being punished. It's not on.
So you have, I want anybody, as I say, from Northern Ireland, now living in the west of Ireland or anywhere in the country, in the south of Ireland, who had a baby in one of these mother and baby homes in Northern Ireland. There is this organisation, and you would like to hear from these women. And how can they get in touch, Michelle?
We're on Facebook. We have a Facebook group page, and it's Birth Mothers and Their Children for Justice NI. Right. And there's also another Facebook page that you can be friends with them and message us and everything. And it's Birth Mothers for Justice.
Okay.
And also that's our email as well, is birthmothersforjustice.n.i@hotmail.com.
Okay.
And we also have a couple of phone numbers here that they can ring.
Okay, maybe if we just give one number, that might just be better, because it gets complicated if we start giving too many numbers. So can we just deal with maybe one number?
Yep, that's okay.
Yeah.
0751.
Yeah.
387 4371.
Okay, so that's the actual number in Northern Ireland. The codes for the north, I'm useless with codes, but I think it may be 00. I think it's 0044, and you drop the 0. So it's 0044 751 387 4371. And is that your number, Michelle?
Yes, that's my number.
All right. And do you have many in your group?
Yes, we do. Obviously, some people like to sit in the background to see what's happening, or, they'd like to be interested and like to put their comments. We are very much a confidential page. The group is closed, so only the ones that's in the group can see what you've put. On our friends page, you can message us privately. And everything, like I've said, is very, very confidential. And if they want to meet up, by all means, we can meet up and have a cup of tea and a chat. And we would be very much grateful if everybody would like to come and join us and support us. And love to everybody.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the... But a lot of people are asking what order of nuns Adel... I don't know if she wants to disclose that information, or do you want to disclose the information in your case?
I'll to her now.
Okay. And thank you, Michelle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Not at all.
Yes, Tom.
Yeah, Adel, you haven't said what order of nuns you were involved with. Is that intentionally?
Well, no. They were the Good Shepherds.
The Good Shepherds.
Yeah. And we are in the process of, just lately there, we were told there will be a scoping exercise carried out in these mother and baby homes in the north of Ireland, leading hopefully to a full investigation and an inquiry. We feel here that really there should be a united inquiry into all these mother and baby homes.
North and south.
North and south. Yeah. Everybody should be included.
Okay.
As there is potential graves in the homes that, around these mother and baby homes, and also that there has been babies' graves in Milltown Cemetery. I think something like the 10,000 that has been numbered, and there was really no full investigation into them.
All right, Adel, we've got to leave it there, but thank you so much for talking to us. So again, any people born in Northern Ireland in any of these mother and baby homes, or who gave birth in one of them and then moved south, if you go onto Facebook and look at Birth Mothers and Their Children for Justice NI, or you can also have a look for Birth Mothers for Justice, and you'll be able to link up with this organisation. Thanks to Michelle, and thank you, Adel, for talking to us.
Thank you so much, Tommy. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye.